The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Wrestling to the Max. Monday Night Raw Review.
I am not Brandon Biskobing, in case you couldn't tell that. Nor am I Gary Vaughn. Hi, everyone. This is the Wrestling to the Max Monday Night Raw Report. Review, podcast, whatever.
This isn't the Raw reaction.
I didn't say Raw reaction, Bizko.
You came close. You said report instead of review.
All right, I actually did. Actually, I was thinking of Tony's report on 4-on-1, even though I'm using Larry's for this. Oh, hi. I'm Harry Broadhurst. You might recognize me from such shows as Smackdown Live and 205. I'm not usually on the Monday Night Raw review. This chair, bed, is traditionally... No, allow me to rephrase that, because that could have gotten bad quick. This seat is usually filled by one Liz Puglisi. Liz had a personal obligation this week and will not be with us this week. She will return next week, we hope, for predictions and such going into Extreme Rules, which, by the way, I will have live thoughts on next week on this SmackDown Live review.
Okay.
I'll be going to Extreme Rules in... Okay, so technically it's Tuesday when we're recording this.
Yes.
But it's for Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
So, 12 days.
Yes.
But this is the Monday Night Raw review for July 2nd, 2018 here on the W2M Network. Available online at W2Mnet.com. In addition, you can find us on places such as iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Podbean, CastBox, YouTube. Hey, Brandon, guess what?
Something is coming very soon.
It's Glacier, isn't it?
No, it's Spotify.
Spotify. Coming soon. This is my ominous voice. And I can't talk like that any longer because my throat hurts. So, what do we go ahead and get into this episode of Monday Night Raw, Bisco?
Yeah, before you destroy your voice box when we have 2 other shows to do following this.
Yeah, this is what happens when I get tagged into duty last minute. We miss you, Gary. Hurry your ass back. All right. And with that, let's start Raw, July 2nd, 2018. All right, here we go. Opening segment is Roman Reigns. I stopped paying attention. Oh, wait. We actually have to talk about this, don't we? No. In all sincerity, though, Roman actually talks about the whole thing he has going on with Bobby Lashley, but instead of Lashley out to counteract his comments, we're interrupted instead by McIntyre and Ziggler, who are upset that Roman made the save for Seth last week. They want a piece of Roman. Roman wants a piece of them. It turns into a 2-on-1 beatdown on Reigns after McIntyre and Ziggler get the advantage. That is until this time Seth Rollins makes the save for Roman. And Yahoo, baby, stand tall to, well, baby-ish. Seth's a baby. Roman, take your pick.
Roman, it's all based on how you think of him, pretty much.
Roman and Seth stand tall at the start of Raw. Real quick, segue this right into what happened immediately afterwards. Roman and Seth are backstage with Kurt Angle. They want Dolphin Drew. Angle says that they can have Dolphin Drew next week because Roman already has a match with Bobby against the Revival, because we haven't seen that 2 weeks in a row already. But Roman insists that he wants the match tonight. Therefore, Roman Reigns is working double duty. Yay. All right, we'll talk about the matches once we get to them. Let's first talk about the opening segment here. What were your thoughts on the way we started off this episode of Raw?
I mean, the opening segment with Roman talking about Bobby and all that was fine because, you know, it sets up the inevitable, and we do get the official announcement during the show of Roman versus Bobby at Extreme Rules. But then, yeah, he still has unfinished business with McIntyre and Ziggler. They come out, they're annoyed at him interfering in their business last week with Seth. And yes, a lot of people, the people who don't like Roman aren't going like this because they're gonna think, oh, Roman's getting 2 matches, and getting all the airtime and all of that. But I like this whole thing because it shows that Roman is, willing to compete and willing to pull double duty for his friend and everything. But we'll talk about it more later, but if anyone didn't see what was about to come, they were completely clueless.
Our opening content... Okay, well, not technically yet, because first we have yet another Bo Wyatt, and I almost said Bo Dallas, but that's technically inaccurate at this particular moment. We have another Curtis Hardy and Bo Wyatt promo before the matches. We have a rematch of last week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Wow, it really is lather, rinse, repeat on the red brand, isn't it?
Well, I think this one, if it wasn't for what happened to Bray, which I didn't see until later on in the afternoon, so I was thinking when I was doing my playthrough for this show, prior to the show, I was thinking it was going to be this match. I was anticipating it being the other 2 partners. It was going to be a battle of a sibling rival. They obviously wouldn't have called it that, but it would have been a sibling rivalry match between Bo and Bray.
Have they ever acknowledged on screen that they're brothers?
No, I do not believe so.
All right, well, instead it is a rematch from last week. Is our opening contest scheduled for one fall?
One fall.
Yes, it invades a 4th show here on the...
Well, we do it when it's Liz and I. We do it anyway. So,
I mean, technically, this is your position on this show, so I should be giving you the timing in ones. So let's try this. Stop. Rewind. Whoop, 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 whoop.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
One fall. It's a rematch of last week as Matt Hardy takes on Curtis Axel. They don't have the slip on a banana peel finish for this one. They actually have a legitimate match. 9 minutes and 22 seconds, about 6 of which was aired. Curtis Axel picks up the win with a snapmare driver, not called such by the commentators because Michael Cole is incompetent. And once again, the B team picks up yet another victory. I will agree with you in that I do think this was originally going to be Bo Dallas versus Bray Wyatt. I still think we might get that match next week if Bray is cleared to compete after his whole car crashing situation.
Yes, if he is cleared, then that's definitely what we're going to get next week, along with some more shenanigans and, probably them, it won't be a clean finish next week since it's a go-home show, and they'll do some brawling and whatnot, with probably the B team standing tall at the end, which inevitably will result in their demise at Extreme Rules.
Your thoughts on this match?
It was a decent match. It's nice seeing Curtis Axel actually being able to show his wrestling abilities instead of just being either a fodder or a joke wrestler. So I liked it. I like how they're giving the B team some legitimacy. I know it's probably just to make them look, like real threats.
Yeah, it's obviously temporary.
Yes. But, it's nice seeing them getting some wins while we can.
Well, not to mention, it's always good to get fresh blood into a division, and I feel like Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel managed to somehow strike a chord with the audience that the fans are invested in them for whoever knows what reason here, and they're very entertaining in this gimmick as well. They finally stepped out of Mrs. Shadow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Backstage, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are having a quick tete-a-tete when Bobby Lashley arrives. Seth takes a skedaddle, and it's down to Roman and Bobby, and they talk about the situation with tonight. Bobby makes fun of Roman, calling him Super Reigns, which I thought was kind of funny. He then calls him a trouble starter and says that out of everybody on the Monday Night roster, only really Seth Rollins actually likes him. Lashley tells him to check his ego. Reigns responds that he will start, finish, and collect the pinfall in the match, while Bobby stands on the apron and just gets the W. We officially announce at the start of this segment, though, that something of note, that Seth Rollins, kind of spills the beans that it's going to be Iron Man for the Intercontinental title at Extreme Rules as Dolph Ziggler defends against Seth Rollins in a 30-minute match. Your thoughts on the match, first of all?
On the match coming up at Extreme Rules?
Yes.
I mean, especially with how good these two are, I mean, I'm not trying to jump the gun or anything. It is a B pay-per-view and everything, and it's only 30 minutes and everything, but if they truly allow them to go all out, and they give them free reign, they could be on the level of Shawn Brett.
Well, I think Shawn and Brett actually kind of had a toned down one. I think the more accurate comparison here might be Triple H Rock from Judgment Day.
True, but I was just thinking more on the lines of, two very technical guys going at it and having a technical match.
Okay, well then I'll throw another match out there for you, and hopefully nobody kills me for this bad choice of words. Benoit Triple H from Monday Night Raw.
That's a better comparison. Yeah.
Or Angle Lesnar from SmackDown as well.
That's another good one, yeah.
These
there. Two, if they're given both the right direction and the right creative freedom, they can definitely put on. They could definitely have match of the night if they're given the ability to.
I'd ask your thoughts on the Roman and Bobby segment, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the match.
Yeah.
Apparently Bayley has to go to counseling. And as soon as Kurt Angle told Bayley she was going to counseling last week, 2 words popped into my head.
I should have thought of this myself. I'll be the first one to admit that I'm an idiot for not seeing this coming, but on the plus side, it made me pop a little when he finally showed up, because I was not anticipating it, so it actually kind of made me pop when I saw him. And it's kind of fitting, considering considering his former clients are back together again.
Yeah, I feel like he needs another appearance on the Blue Brand as well to re-solidify the relationship.
He really does.
We'll talk about SmackDown, obviously, once we do the SmackDown Live review, available here on the W2M Network. But for now, we'll talk about the fact that it's Dr. Shelby that's going to be mediating, I think would be the word.
Counseling?
The disagreements of Bayley and Sasha. They head into the friend zone, otherwise known as Dr. Shelby's office. So many jokes there, not taking the time to make one of them. And to be continued as we come back to this a little bit later on in the evening. Again, do this all as one giant wrap at the end once we get past the other segment for it.
Yeah.
This is the cue.
Oh, the next contest scheduled for One Fall.
One Fall! Is the Authors of Pain finally becoming active on Monday Night Raw again as they take on Titus Worldwide and a very bouncy Dana Brooke this week. America. Anyway, the match itself is not America. It's Albania and India because the Authors of Pain whooped that ass. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Sorry, I forgot he lost his last name somewhere. Takes the pinfall courtesy of the last chapter. With babyface-ish tag team champions in Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, do you think that they're kind of starting to set the course for the Authors of Pain as the next challengers?
Especially now with Ziggler and McIntyre doing other things, yes, I would say so. I think they are the logical next choice as the next legitimate threats to Bray and Matt. Not sure. Well, I mean, how many weeks is it between Extreme Rules and SummerSlam?
I think
like
5.
6.
I'm not certain.
Okay, but even if it's just 5, it would still give them a decent amount of time to build up a feud between the two. So I think that's where they're headed, and probably I would like to say Authors of Pain win, but this may be an extended feud that they may move through until, maybe Hell in a Cell or something like that.
Well, you say that you'd like to see Authors of Pain take the belts here. Honestly, given their repositioning on the card, is it at all possible that we get Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt against the Revival instead?
I think that could very well... I mean, we'll talk more about them later, but I could see them... I definitely think that's going to be a number one contenders match going towards SummerSlam. Will be Authors of Pain versus Revival. But I'm not sure who they would have go over there. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, you wouldn't have thought either one of them were in that position, but now they're starting to use both teams a lot better. Considering Revival, albeit through shenanigans, but they are getting wins against two of the top guys on the card, I think Revival probably will be the new number one contenders. But Authors of Pain will get their shot sometime this year, I have a feeling.
Can confirm 5 weeks from Extreme Rules to SummerSlam.
Okay.
July 15th for Extreme Rules, August 19th for SummerSlam. 50. You know what they would have for me if I showed up 55 minutes late?
A pink slip?
Suspended at least, possibly fired. The joys of being a wrestler when you can show up at any time that's convenient as long as the cameras are around. It's your turn.
I didn't see where did he end up leaving his keys in that segment?
He took them with him.
Then where the hell?
Because the valet asked for them.
Yeah, and he
Kevin
said no.
Told him no.
So what? He left them like in the arena or something at the end.
It's not exactly like he has pockets in his ring gear, Brandon.
True. Very true. Very true. The following contest scheduled for one fall.
One fall? I'm mixing it up a little bit. Is Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre taking on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. In the end here, we can talk about the match in its entirety once we get to the finish, but in the end, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns pick up a disqualification victory when the Revival arrived. Try saying that 5 times fast and not screwing it up, because I almost did. To take out Roman Reigns, once again, 15 minutes and 40 seconds, approximately 10 of which was shown on television-ish. Not a whole lot to say about what we saw before the break, but that closing stretch with Seth as the face in peril was really well done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, this match, it wasn't the greatest match that any of these guys can put on by far, but, it was a good means to an end type of match.
It's one of those things where you kind of saw the ending coming with the announcement that Roman had a match later on in the show. But all 4 of these guys are good enough workers that they're going to get you invested into the show, into the match.
Definitely.
Like, I will sit here and I will bash Roman Reigns, the character, for days upon days upon days. I have nothing against Roman Reigns, the wrestler. He's actually a very competent wrestler.
I mean, even Roman Reigns, the character, while it's, while they have to get better, it is starting to slowly get better to where, yes, he's still kind of the focal point, but, I mean, if you really think about it, even with 2 matches, even with him having 2 matches, neither one was the main event.
I wish one of them would have been. I never thought I'd say those words. What's wrong with me? Anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. Trust me, it's a crappy way to go off the air. Womp, womp, womp. All right, anyway. Post-match, what happened?
Quite literally, might I add.
Thanks for ruining the joke. I appreciate it. Post-match, you know what happens? someone starts spamming finishers like you could do in Smackdown 2, the video game.
Oh, I wonder who that would be.
First, it was Ziggler and McIntyre with the Claymore zigzag combo on Rollins. Then it was the Revival with a Shatter Machine to Roman Reigns.
Yep.
We see highlights, assuming you can use that word, of last week's interactions between Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman. Owens comes up to Kurt Angle, persona incognito, as he has his hoodie on and he's trying to hide. We see you, Kevin. And wants Braun Strowman either suspended or fired. Kurt Angle takes this as a challenge, and that Kevin Owens wants a match with Braun Strowman because apparently all of the texting Kurt does has left him in a stupor. Seriously, who is he texting?
Probably Stephanie, considering how Constable Corbin's always around.
We see clips again of Sasha and Bayley bickering.
Real quick before we gloss over this, I love how Kevin directly called out the fact, wait a second, you're going to send Bayley and Sasha to counseling for what they did, but Braun gets away with it and gets to have a match.
Would you want to piss off Braun Strowman?
True, we've already seen what happens there.
You won't like him when he's angry.
Yeah, we already saw that pre-Rumble.
Once again, as I was saying, Bayley and Sasha are shown in a quick clip package of their arguments with Dr. Shelby. We'll pick them up a little bit later on in the show. For now, Constable Corbin comes out to talk, and I realize that it's Mike Rome doing the ring announcing for this show. Perhaps JoJo was in that accident as well?
Probably.
If she wasn't in the accident, she's at home with Bray.
Yes.
To Inside Wrestling? Anyway. Corbin's out to talk about what happened last week with Finn Balor, calls out Finn Balor to the ring and demands an apology. This goes about as well as you would expect it to, with Balor making fun of Corbin's vest, haircut, and ability in that order. Corbin eventually sucker punches Balor. Balor ends up getting the advantage, however, hitting Sling Blade, and sends Corbin scurrying up the ramp. Let me ask you, Brandon, do you have any interest in a singles match between Corbin and Balor?
Only, especially with how it's gotten kind of personal, and it's one of the few organic feuds going on right now, not just for a title or anything like that. And considering the namesake of the pay-per-view we're headed towards, this should be one of the stipulation matches. And I'd be okay with that if we get it.
Yeah, you'd think so, except for the fact that we announced the women's title match as the Extreme Rules match a little bit later on in the show.
Oh yeah, we did get that announcement. But you have enough space that you could do 2 Extreme Rules matches?
I mean, it's a 5-hour pay-per-view. They have to do something.
Exactly. And I don't want this to be like, what was it, last year? It was either last year or 2 years ago, where on the pay-per-view that it says Extreme Rules, they make a match the complete opposite by, if you get disqualified, you lose the title.
Well, nobody has a title, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, I know.
Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan meet up with Elias. Apparently they're groupies. Make your own jokes here, and here. No Ruby Riott this week, as apparently she got injured at a house show. Nothing but the best to Ruby as she recovers. She's one of the sprained MCL, I'm aware.
Yes. Oh, okay.
She's been one of the brighter spots of the recent call-ups from NXT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she shouldn't be gone too long, which is a good thing.
Elias starts playing music. Liv and Sarah start needlessly attempting to destroy stuff. Lather, rinse, repeat from what we've seen before.
If they had done this from the beginning, it would have a lot better effect.
Yes, because nothing says hilarity like randomly breaking stuff backstage. I destroyed your laptop. I'm such a dick. It's your turn.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
One fall is Ember Moon and Liv Morgan. No real reason to go into any kind of in-depth detail on this one. It was just there to give Ember a spot on the show and to help her pick up a win. Something tells me that once Alexa retains against Nia, you heard it here first. Well, I guess technically Rousey will be more likely for SummerSlam. But whoever comes out of SummerSlam with the title, I would think is going to have Ember Moon breathing down their neck. See what I did there? Because she's a vampire.
Yes. Yeah, I think even if it's not on the next pay-per-view post SummerSlam, it's gonna be in the near future that she's gonna get a title shot.
It's a sooner rather than later situation.
Precisely.
All right. We go back to Dr. Shelby's office, and just when I thought Bayley couldn't get any cuter, oh my God, her doing Sasha's dance is everything dreams are made of. Nothing?
I liked it a lot.
And it didn't even have anything to do with her getting under Sasha's skin, although the comment about the mail carrier's cousin being Snoop Dogg, that was hilarious.
That was a good one.
That popped me.
That did.
I was more specifically referring to how hot Bayley looked while she did too, because she is very underrated in the looks department.
Oh, absolutely.
I do believe that would get America.
Yes.
It's only appropriate. We're 5 minutes away from the 4th of July as we're recording.
Yes.
I'm
Indeed.
breaking the fourth wall, Sean. Not that he'll ever listen to us.
Probably not.
I think it's your turn.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
One fall, same participant as before. Participants, actually. Because it's a rematch from last week. And the week before that. And possibly next week. As the Revival take on Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. Lashley and Reigns pick up a disqualification win at 7 minutes and 20 seconds when the Revival are whooping too much of Roman's ass. And we can't have Roman getting hurt too much. This is the Revival we needed to be seeing on a more consistent basis on Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. This is a Revival that you take serious as a legitimate threat on Monday Night Raw.
Indeed.
Post-match, we get the long-anticipated non-multi-man scramble, rumble, whatever fracas Kurt Angle talked about earlier. We do officially announce that it will be Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley one-on-one at Extreme Rules. All right, so I've said before that I think Roman has gotten better as a worker.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lashley improved tremendously while he was in Impact Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the kind of guys that are going to carry each other to a good match, though. Something tells me this match is going to suck.
I won't say it's going to suck, per se, but it's definitely not going to be a technical masterpiece. It's going to be one of those bruiser... It's basically what you would get between either one of them and a more more inspired Brock Lesnar. They're all that same sort of bruiser, just hard hitting, not very technical, not very up tempo, just bruiser type of match. It's gonna be kind of similar to how Roman Joe was, except hopefully they do not do the stupid thing of having, Bobby get the advantage like crazy quick, and then have Roman have to play the comeback game. Which I'm sure that's probably what we're going to end up getting now.
I mean, of the two of them, Lashley's been getting some very heel-based remarks lately from the crowd. Mm-hmm. But that's because he was taking on a very popular heel in Sami Zayn.
Well, not only that, but also his whole storyline within that feud was just cringeworthy. So, even though Sami was the heel, Sami was the one that was carrying that whole feud and making it even semi-relevant. Cringeworthy though it may have been.
Our next contest, scheduled for one... Oh, wait, never mind. No Way Jose and his conga line are at ringside. No particular conga line members stood out to me this week, so no comments on them. And Mojo Rawley makes his entrance. Apparently he's from Alexandria, Virginia. Learn something new every day. Why are you wasting time on full intros when you know this isn't going to be a match?
You know they still have to do their whole presentation and everything.
Mojo once again refuses the rematch and sucker punches from behind. I guess it was more of a clobbering forearm than a sucker punch, but still the point remains. No Way Jose, and then goes and attacks one of the conga line people. A, hilarious. B, I believe the first time that this has happened, actually. I do not recall any conga line people getting attacked in NXT.
Well, he didn't have as many. Did he even have a conga line in NXT? I'm trying to remember. I don't think so.
For the bigger events, he did.
Yes, for the bigger events he did. But, I don't think it was as big either.
And not on weekly NXT television either. But yes. In fairness, NXT television budget is significantly smaller than an episode of Raw's.
Yeah.
Jose makes the save for the conga line guy, but proceeds to get his butt handed to him once again. Man, your dog really doesn't like Jose. Your dog really doesn't like No Way Jose.
Apparently.
And also, in addition to that, neither does Mojo, as a spine buster on the ring apron says, no more. Jose for the evening. No more. Jose for the evening. As this feud apparently continues?
Yeah, I guess. This will probably end up being a kickoff match.
I hope to God not. I don't want to have to sit through it.
Be prepared. I'm calling it right now. Kickoff match.
I'm going and getting a cheesy pretzel. Snack of choice for Harry, in case anybody out there was wondering. We have a highlight package of what's going on between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. In a pre-taped interview, Ronda Rousey lets us know that she will be at Extreme Rules because she bought a ticket at ringside, which is impressive because those things are going for like $1,000 each.
Well, she's Ronda Rousey. She's got a ton of money.
Not to mention, I'm sure she probably has it in. I think she could get a comp ticket if she really wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like she could make that work.
Yeah.
Nia Jax gets mic time on this episode. Yahoo. Okay, for those of you that don't listen to the reaction but listen to the Monday Night Raw review, I have stated many times over that Nia Jax might be the most overrated worker in the WWE right now. Not a fan of the gimmick, not a fan of the look, not a fan of the in-ring ability, not a fan of the way she's been presented. Not a fan of her hurting people either.
Well, she hasn't hurt anyone in a while now.
Yes, in a while. But give her a chance and she might figure out a way. She talks about the fact that she thought she was done with Alexa Bliss. They're going to start her they're right back where they started now that Alexa took the title from her. But it's going to end at Extreme Rules because they're having an Extreme Rules match. Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid because of how poor, I don't know if it was the storytelling or, I don't know if it was them trying to do the whole stupid story that they had last year, but I do not want to see another Alexa Bliss Extreme Rules match.
Well, last year it was with Bayley, and it was Bayley not being able to bring herself to get extreme. I don't think Nia will have a problem beating Alexa's backside, but at the same time, I don't want to see it either because I don't buy Nia as a sympathetic babyface.
I get what you're saying on that level to an extent, but especially, and this was my problem with them then suddenly trying to, turn her semi-heel again, or, turn her tweener again, so quickly after Mania. Excuse me. I did buy her as the babyface in the lead up to Mania with how they portrayed both. Because it was very cliche and it was very, high school drama type stuff. But it worked. It did work on that level.
Yeah, and then she went and proved that everything Alexa Bliss said about her was accurate during the build up to the match with Ronda Rousey.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, I agree. That was what I was saying. It was stupid that they completely did a complete about face after it. It really did feel to me as though this was a not as short, and not as staged as the Ryder thing. But it very much felt like it was like Zack Ryder's Intercontinental title win a couple of years ago, where it was just this feel-good moment for WrestleMania, and then, like, right after that, it's back to business as usual, and the whole story and her whole character goes by the wayside.
I have a difficult time using the words Nia Jax and feel-good story in the same sentence. You'll have to forgive me.
I understand that, but I can see it on the side of how what they were trying to do with it.
This is your cue.
What?
This is your cue.
The following contest scheduled for one fall.
One fall! It's tough being Liz. I don't know how you put up with me every Tuesday doing this.
Because I like doing it.
I'm aware. It's just it's difficult being on the other side of it when you're so used to being the guy going.
I know this. I understand. The first week I did it myself and I was hosting, I forgot for half the show. I basically pulled a U from last week. Just I did it for the whole show, except for one or two matches I did it.
I missed one match, and it was because it was Rusev Day, and I was excited.
I know.
Anyway, Nia Jax takes on Mickie James here in a rehash of their ongoing storyline. Nia picks up the win with a Samoan drop at 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Natalya takes out Alexa Bliss, which means they appear to be setting the stage for various contenders to Alexa going forward, which tells me that Rousey's probably taking the belt at SummerSlam. Excuse me.
Yeah, I could see that. Hey,
your thoughts on the Nia Mickie match first?
I mean, it wasn't really anything spectacular. It was, it was a pretty basic match. I don't really have much to say about it, honestly.
It was a basic match. So every Nia Jax match ever.
Pretty much.
Beating a dead horse. Moving on. What were you about to say before I asked your thoughts on the match?
What I was gonna say was it's gonna be kind of funny, and this seems to be Vince McMahon's MO, especially if the rumors are to be believed. Well, we don't know about this yet, so this could all just be up in the air. But he's basically trading one former UFC star for another as a title holder.
Yeah, but the difference is this one will actually be around.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, I agree. She's way better than he who shall not be named until he goes away.
Oh, no. I'll say his name right now, and I'll say exactly what I think about him, because these are the exact words that I've used talking about him to other people. I'm over Brock Lesnar. I want him gone. I want him out
here.
I want him out of my company.
I mean,
I don't care about you spamming 62 German suplexes. I don't care about you getting Paul Heyman a paycheck, even though Paul deserves it because he's still got one of the best minds in the business. I don't care about you showing up once every 4 months to promote a match and then going back off to bump Canada or wherever the hell it is you're living right now. Go away. If you're not passionate about pro wrestling doesn't need you.
Yeah. No. Oh, no, I completely agree with you. But at least when he wasn't a title holder and he wasn't in the title picture, and he was just that special attraction of, he was basically like The Undertaker, where, we need to give someone a boost. Okay, we'll, have him face Lesnar. If he were to have done something like that, then I'd be okay with him. But him holding a title is a big no-no because it minimalizes that title to the point where, honestly, at this point, I want someone to go out there and go full on Vince Russo to Hulk Hogan, a la New Blood, or I forget what show it was. I want to say Bash at the Beach, the Bash 2000. Yeah, and just say, screw you. The Universal title is now known as the Brock Lesnar title, and get a new damn title and move on.
5 simple letters. It's an acronym. If you don't know what it means, look it up. I'm not allowed to say one of the words. GTFOH.
Yep.
GTFOH.
Indeed. But unfortunately, we may be waiting. I mean, I'm hoping that these are all just, rumors to try to, in vain to get Reigns some sort of face heat. But if the rumors are to be believed, we may not even be looking at SummerSlam.
GTFOH.
Indeed.
Jinder Mahal tries to calm down Kevin Owens before his match. Charlie Caruso approaches Kevin and ruins his meditation, but Kevin instead cuts a promo on Strowman and says tonight he'll show the world how you destroy a monster. Bobby Lashley cuts a promo talking about the match with Extreme Rules, saying, and I quote, "I can't wait. If I'd have been here for the last 10 years, Roman Reigns would have never been the guy." Bobby, you barely lasted 10 months.
And he would have been buried by Cena in the first 5 years.
I'm not sure I agree with that, because they actually did have a pretty decent title match at Great American Bash 07, I want to say it was. So, there was potential with Lashley, but his heart wasn't in the business. I mean, those exact words you say about our Universal Champion right now.
Yes.
The difference is Lashley's recommitted to the world of professional wrestling right now, whereas Brock Lesnar has doffed to wherever he chooses to off to.
Yeah. And now wants to go back.
And proceed to golf some more.
Yep.
Anyway. Your turn.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall.
Was it really a contest, though? I mean, was it?
What fall. Match are we talking about here?
It's main event time.
No. This was just 2 minutes worth of
crap.
Yeah,
I think the word you're looking for is crap.
And then kind of funny but really gross after the fact segment.
Funny? Not the word I would use.
Okay.
I get that this appeals to the sophomoric sense of humor that Vince McMahon has.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the kind of shit, and I mean that word literally, that makes people embarrassed to be professional wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I feel like we use that phrase on a different show.
Yes, we do.
Segue. Anywho. Yeah. That happened. For those of you that didn't watch, and quite frankly, why would you at this point? The match literally consists of Strowman throwing Kevin on his ass out of a collar and elbow tie-up, and Kevin Owens pulling the 3 doors down and ducking and running. It's a good song. I'm just saying it is. Owens runs backstage and realizes he forgot our keys. He looks around, and with a television production truck there that he could hide under, and based on the panoramic view that we got when Strowman came out a little bit later, everything else that was on that level, Kevin decides to hide in a goddamn porta potty. Braun Strowman comes out, proceeds to search the enclosed area, scaring away the valet in the process. Way to do your job, buddy. And realizes about halfway back through the door that there's a porta potty right there and he should probably check it.
And Kevin does the stupidest thing possible.
Responding to Strowman's female voice, which is another thing. What the hell was that?
Wait, I thought that was KO saying that. That's what it sounded to me.
Strowman knocked on the porta potty and then in a very high-pitched feminine voice said, "Is there anybody in here?"
Oh, okay.
That's when Kevin yelled out to him, "Busy, go away."
Oh, I didn't hear him say busy, go away.
Strowman proceeds to find a roll of duct tape around, because of course there's duct tape! My description of this is a lot more entertaining than what actually happened, for the record. And duct tapes the porta potty closed. He drags the porta potty back through the backstage area, Steve Austin Zamboni style. He wishes it was Steve Austin Zamboni style. Drags Kevin Owens in the porta potty up a ramp to the stage. And for the record, to those of you questioning the ramp that was there, there's always a ramp attached to that stage. You just never usually see it. And then leaves him sitting on the edge of the stage. Proceeds to start to walk away. The fans encourage him to knock the porta potty off of the stage because they're bastards. And Strowman proceeds to knock Owens off of the stage, a grand total of about 1.5 feet. Owens comes out covered in porta potty blue stuff. Frankly, I'm surprised he wasn't covered in fake feces at this point.
I was surprised too.
And Mike Rome sends us off air by announcing the winner of this contest by countout was Braun Strowman. Well, thank you, Mike Rome. I need Tylenol because my head is hurting from describing this. This segment has literally given me a migraine.
I mean, this is what you're going to get with Strowman in the interim until we can get him a certain red strap.
All right, Brandon, this is your show, so go ahead and take us into our final... I guess it's not a final reaction. That time I almost did do it.
Okay.
We really don't have a name for the score segments on these shows, so frankly, that would have worked.
Well, we just say final score. So, final rating on it. So, what's your final rating for this show?
4, and that's being awfully generous.
4?
The two tag matches were pretty good. I like the fact that we're seeing the Revival getting more face time on television. I like the fact that we're seeing Rollins and Ziggler having the opportunity to prove to the world why they're two of the best in the company. It was nice to get to see Drew McIntyre out there, and frankly, anytime Bayley dances like she danced tonight, it's worth at least a point on my scale. 4.
Okay. I'm going to be a decent bit nicer than you. I'm going to give it a 6. All
4 was me being generous.
I know this. Most of the matches were decent. I mean, the tag match with Rollins and Reigns, you saw the ending coming. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but it worked. The Lashley and Reigns match, it was a means to an end, and hey, the fact that Revival is getting, a little bit more of a push and they're not being thrown down the gutter is a good sign. Seeing Ember Moon getting a win, again, obviously, she's getting a push. That was good to see. And besides that, yeah, some of the stuff. I mean, the Dr. Shelby, Bayley, Sasha stuff. Some of it was kind of weird, but like you said, some of it, like Bayley making fun of the fact that like, is Snoop Dogg really your cousin? Like doing that was funny to see. Yeah, this show was very campy and very over the top, but I mean, it's WWE. Do you really expect anything less, especially with Strowman?
Well, let's put it this way: this was Vince's WWE.
Yeah. This was, this wasn't even good old school WWE. This was new generation WWE.
You're still in control here, Brandon.
Okay. So, final. I just didn't know if you had anything more to say. One word review for this?
I mean, is there another option for this? Is there really? I do believe the word you're looking for, Brandon, is crap.
Yeah.
In 4 words, though, it would be that Bayley dance dough. Just saying. All right, I've officially beaten that into the ground.
Yeah,
hey, I could work for the WWE Raiders team at this point. Us. Okay, maybe not us. All right, go ahead. 1 word review, Brandon. What do you got?
You kind of stole mine, so.
Did you that I changed mine to shit?
Well, we can both use two words of the same variety. So I'll use one, you use the other.
Okay, since we're a more family-friendly show here, since I used crap, you can use poop.
Yes.
But there wasn't poop. It was just blue stuff.
So, that'll pretty much wrap us up. Let's get this done before this becomes even more of a train wreck.
So wait, what you're telling me is this episode's now in the can?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I'm done. That was my last one, I promise.
Should we even bother to do plugs, or just say, if you want to hear more about us and plugs of other shows and all of that, we got Smackdown Live coming up soon, so...
Smackdown Live, 205 Live, both to come at you within the next, probably within the time that they're recorded and then posted, it'll be within a couple of hours of when this goes up. So, realistically speaking, I don't feel the need to overburden you with plugs at the end of each of these episodes. We traditionally do our plugs on Tuesday night SmackDown, so we'll do them for the SmackDown Live review. He's Brandon Biskobing. I'm Harry Broadhurst. This is the W2M Network, available online at W2Mnet.com. For more information on anything in relation to us, make sure you check us out at many of the places where all of these fine podcasts are available: iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Podbean, Castbox, YouTube, what have you. And the SmackDown Live review for July 3rd is coming up next here on the W2M Network. Liz and Brandon will be back at you next Monday. I have an episode of SmackDown to review next. Thanks for listening, everybody. They'll talk to you next week.